Good afternoon, everyone. I hope, good afternoon, Sanvi. Good afternoon, YD. Good afternoon to everyone who wished me before. I think they were. Good afternoon, Raju. Good afternoon, Reddy. Uh, Reddy, you got admitted into the Telegram group. You were asking yesterday, right? That you are not in the group. I hope you have been admitted. I gave you the number. Good afternoon, Anjali. Okay. Good afternoon, Satya. I hope everyone is doing fine. I hope. Good afternoon, Sai. Good afternoon, everyone. Before getting into the class, as always, let us go through the basic routines. Keep your video cameras off. Keep your cameras off and chat. As I always tell you, I log in by two IDs. So you send your messages on this ID, which is simply asking. Okay. So send your messages on this one. I can't see the other one. So with that, let us start the class. I guess your class of chemistry was till 12:20. I think 12:20, 12:20 or 12:25. So I just wanted to give time to people to join back. That's why I am just delaying this class by 2 or 3 minutes. We can do the recap till the time all students join. Vahini, do you remember what we were discussing in the last class? We'll always start with a recap. What were we discussing in the last class? Anyone can tell me? Yeah, just Vahini, tell me. Last class was a very productive one. I think most of you participated. We had a lot of things that we discussed. Trigonometry is what we discussed in the last class, the basis of trigonometry. We only discussed that part. Yes, Vahini. We only discussed that part that is necessary for us to understand in physics, that is useful for us in physics. Trigonometric ratios we had discovered. We had discovered the 6 trigonometric ratios, and we had also discussed how we can find the value of different trigonometric ratios for different values. So just to get you into the groove and just to remind you what we are there, I'll just give you one question. And if you can solve this, cos of 270 degrees. I also gave you some homework to solve the question in the sheet, in the notes that you have. Sir, I missed yesterday's 10-minute last class. Don't worry, Deepak. I think the class would be on your app. The recorded lecture would be on your app. Don't worry about that. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Reddy, what happened? Why are you saying 0? Okay, you're giving the answer at 0. Okay, I did not get it. My balance completed. Anyways, we were trying to solve this question. Cos of 270 degrees. Can anyone help me out with this? However, we suppose Vijay also gave me the answer 0. Okay, 0 is the answer. Cos of 270. How did you get the answer of 0? Cos of 90 is 0. And cos of 270 is 3 times of 90. So it will be, 270 is 3 times of 90. So it will be 0. We all agree to that. I must give you another one then. This was cos of 300 degrees. What would be the value of cos of 300 degrees? I hope you remember what we had discussed. For odd multiples of 90, sine will get converted into cos. For even multiples, they will remain same. Half says Vijay, half says Reddy. Great, I think you are on the right track. And for even multiples, they remain same. So that is how you solve it. How are we going to solve this one? It's very simple. So this is 300. So I'll write it as cos of. I just wanted to write in terms of cos. I can write it as 270 plus 30. I can do it in many ways. I can write it as cos of 360 minus 60. Doesn't matter. Everything is same. We'll end up with the same result. Now looking at this 270, it's an odd multiple. It's an odd multiple of 90. So it will become, cos will become sine. So the answer should be sine of 30. Then we look at the quadrant, 270 plus 30, it lies in which quadrant? It lies in the fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, cos is positive. Yes, Chatur, correct. So the answer is plus of sine 30. Sine 30 is half, plus half would be the answer. Just Chatur, that's correct. So that is how we could find out the value of any trigonometric ratios in any for any angle. Sainath, please send the messages on the other ID. You are sending it on the wrong one. I won't be able to check it. So please send it on this one, on the ID with the name of Astik only, not Astik Udenia. You have different ID, just send your messages over there. So with that, we can come to today's class. And as I requested you guys that you read that small portion of notes that I gave you. Today's class will deal, to start with, we'll deal with logs or logarithms. Any idea what is a log? Chali says, sir, basic maths, you need to write what? Let me see. You need to write in class book. Well, if you don't want to write, you may omit it. You have the notes. I mean, it's very simple thing. I don't think you need to write them. You can just read it from the notes. If you think that something is important that you want to understand better, you can always write it in your note. Now, you understand the meaning of log? Anyone who understands the meaning of log? How this log come into the picture? Let us take a very simple example. If I write 5 squared, what is the value of 5 squared? 5 squared is 25, right? 5 squared is 25. Now, what does log say here? Now, if I want to write it in a different way, say, for example, I want to write it in a different way, different language, I can write it like this. What will I write? Log of 25 to the base of 5 is 2. Log of 25 to the base of 5 is 2. This is just another way of writing what I have written in step number 1. This is another way of writing what I have written in step number 1. 5 squared is 25. I can write it like this. Log of 25 to the base of 5. So here, this 5 is known as the base. This 5 is known as the base. Log of 25 to the base of 5 is 2. That is another way of writing 5 squared is equal to 25. Now we have used this method and we have created some table. Normally, the log that we take is log to the base of. Do you know what is the normal base of log? Anyone knows what is the normal base of log? 10. Yes, Anand, that's correct. Normally, the base is taken as 10. Normally, the base is taken as 10. Now, let us try to, yes, Anil, that's correct. Let's have more messages coming in. I only have 50 right now. Okay, so how do I now use it? So let us take an example here again. For example, 10 squared is 100. 10 squared is 100. Now, can you write it in terms of log to the base 10? Can you write this equation in the form of log to the base 10? How will you write it? Can anyone tell me that? 10 squared is 100. How can I write in the language of log? How can I write this equation in the language of log? Anyone? Saina? If you have any doubt, you can write it in the chat. I'll read it. Anyone can write it in the log form? Anyone? No one? Yes. So I'm getting a lot of answers. Log 100 to the base 10. Correct. So I'll write it like this. Log of 100 base of 10 is equal to 2. Log of 100 to the base of 10 is equal to 2. That is as simple and as elegant as it gets. Yes, Kruti, correct. I'm getting some answers. Great. Everyone should participate. Everyone should get me the answer. That is correct. Now, I can write a general form. Okay, Sai, you are correct. You are also correct. I can write it in a general form. So what is the general form that I am going to write? Please remember, please note it. So if a raised to the power of x is equal to n, this is the equation given to me. A raised to the power x is equal to n. Fatafat, quickly. How will I write it in the form of log? A raised to the power of x is n. How will I write this equation in the form of log? Anyone? I'm waiting for answers. A raised to the power x is equal to n. How will I write this equation in the form of a log? Waiting for answers. N A is equal to x, yes. Log of, correct everyone, yes Anna. Log of n to the base of a is equal to x. That is how I write it. Am I clear with everyone? Has everyone understood this? Can I have some raised hand? Log n to the base of a is x. Correct, Chaturya. Great. Yes, Vaini, that is correct. Okay. So we have understood this. Log n to the base of a. Yes, Kruti, that's correct. Is equal to x. This is how I represent this equation in the form of log. What is the important thing that you must remember? Normally, logs are taken to the base of. The normal log is taken to the base of what? What is the normal base of log? Normal base of log is 10. Yes, that's correct, 10. Sometimes, especially in physics, yes, Deepak, if you have any doubt, please note it down. Please write it in the chat. Sometimes, in fact, many a times, in fact, all the times in physics, we might not be inquiring, we might not be using, we might not be getting log to the base of 10. Or in that is also valid for maths. Log to the base 10 in equations, in formulas, we call them formulas, in equations, in the times that we going to read physics, we will not encounter log to the base 10. We will encounter something else, log to the base of something else. What is that something else that we are going to encounter more in physics? We are going to encounter log to the base. We are going to encounter log to the base of a number known as E. Have you heard about this number E, small e? Have you heard about the number E? Anyone has heard about this number E? Now this number, yes, Shanak says yes. This number E is sometimes known as the Euler's number. Euler was a mathematician, sometimes known as Euler's number, or you can also call it exponential constant. You can also call it exponential constant. I hope you are remembering it. It is also known as exponential constant, and the value of this E, the value of its D can be approximately taken as 2.718. This is the only information. Even if you don't know this information, that doesn't make any difference to your life. Just for your information purpose, I'm telling you that each E is known as the Euler's number or the exponential constant, and the value of this E is 2.718. As I have said before, that in physics, we will not be encountering log to the base of 10, we will be encountering log to the base of E. Now this log to the base of E of any number is also known as natural log. This log to the base E is also known as natural log, and instead of writing it as log to the base E, we write it like this, ln. We use this symbol ln, yes, ln. So if someone writes log to the base of E of any number 2, I will write it in the form of ln of 2. So this is the nomenclature normally we use in physics. Whenever we have to use log to the base of e, we'll write it as ln. We'll write it as ln. Okay, am I clear? Am I clear with this ln concept? Natural log. And have you seen the value of e? Okay, I'll move ahead. Now, I can always convert the base of logs. Now, I'll not go into much detail to how are we going to convert that, because again, this is not a maths class. I'll just give you one simple relation that you must always remember, because that is what we are going to require in physics. What is that relation? That relation you must remember, and that relation is like this. ln of, I hope you understand the meaning of ln. ln of x is equal to 2.303. We will take it as 2.303 times log of x. When I'm writing log of x, I mean log to the base of 10. You just need to remember this particular relation, which is of use to us. Here you must understand that ln of x stands for log to the base of e. Am I clear with this concept? That ln of x stands for the log to the base of e, and it is equal to 2.303 times log to the base of 10. This is what I require in physics, and that should be good enough for our discussion. Now, apart from this, you should be knowing certain basic formulae for this one. So I'll just go through your notes and give you those general formulae, and that general formulae are here, important formulae of logarithm. These are just basic formulas. I hope by looking at this, you should be able to remember them and understand them. Log to the base of a or log to the base of 10 of any number, log to the base of any number of the product of two numbers will be equal to log m plus log n. This is known as the product formula. Let me give you an example for this. For example, if I am to write the log of 20, if I have to find the log of 20, I can write 20 as log of 5 multiplied by 4. So I have converted 20 into a multiplication of 5 and 4. And with this product formula, I can write it as log of 5 plus log of 4. Do we understand this? How I've utilized this, the product formula? Yes, Chaturya, you can also do it like this way. Instead of writing 20 as 5 multiplied by 4, I was waiting for that. You could have written 20 as 10 multiplied by 2. Doesn't make any difference. In that case, beta, log of 20 would have been equal to what? If I written it in the form of 10 multiplied by 2, the log of 20 could be written as log of 10 plus log of 2. Are you getting me? Is everyone getting me? So this is known as the product formula. We okay with this product formula? You understand this? Can I have some raised hands here? So that I understand that we are here on the same universe. Okay, great. So I have a 20-25 raised hands. That is good enough. That means everyone has understood this. The second formula is known as the division formula or the quotient formula. Since m multiplied by n, the log is plus, then you can use some common sense. M divided by n, the log will be equal to log of m minus log of n. So if you remember formula number 1, you should be good enough to remember formula number 2. Shall I give you an example for this, or it's enough that you understand this? Okay, great. I hope you understand this. So I can write 20 as 40 divided by 2. I can write 20 as 40 divided by 2. In that case, the log will be equal to log of 40 minus log of 2. Am I clear? In that case, I can write it as log of 40 minus log of 2. Simple things you must remember. And you would be log of 4. It's not 4 beta, log of should be 40 because 40 divided by 2 is 20. Don't make a mistake of 0. Very good side stuck. Let us move on to the third property, which is known as the power formula. Power formula. Yes, 200, log of 200 minus log of 10 is also correct, beta. Log of m raised to the power of n is n times of log of m. Very simple. If I have to find the log of 25, can anyone tell me how will I do this? To find the log of 25 using the power formula. Finding the log of 25 using the power formula. How will I do it? Yes, 5 times, no, 2 times of log 5. So I'll write it as log of 5 squared, log of 5 squared. Then it becomes log of m raised to the power of m. 5 becomes m, 2 becomes n, and it becomes 2 times log of 5. I hope you are able to understand these simple concepts. Yes, 2 times log of 5. Very good. That's absolutely correct. Okay. This fourth formula I don't require, so I'll just leave it. This is base changing formula. I don't require it for physics. If you want, math people, you can just go through this. We don't require it for physics, just given for your information, so I'll leave it. But instead of this, what I would tell you, if I have log of 10 to the base of 10, what would be the answer for this one? Log of 10 to the base 10, 1. So remember, if I have any number log of x to the base of x, the answer has to be 1. This is of more importance to me, more importance to physics rather than the formula number 4. So formula number 4 has been omitted, and instead of that, we write log of x to the base x is 1. Am I clear with this log concept? Can I have some raise hands, some yeses? No, I already have 125 messages. Great. Okay, I'm getting some raise hands. So this log, remember beta, this log is going to be very important for you in physics and chemistry. In chemistry, there is a chapter known as radioactivity. It's all about logs. Without log, you can't do anything here. Shall I move forward ahead? Okay. Now remember, one very important thing. These small things make a lot of difference in your life. Just find. Okay. In maths, whenever you have a function, and we'll come to function just after this. I hope you understand what is a function. We always have an inverse of that. We always have inverse or reverse of that. For example, we had sine theta as one function. We also have inverse of sine, and that gives you the ulta, the reverse of it. Not cosec beta, not that is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the reverse of it. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here, so that I make my point absolutely clear of what I mean by reverse here. Okay. Let me cite you a simple example of 1 by sine is not the reverse of it. Let me try to rephrase. What I am saying. Okay, look at this. Let us say I write y is equal to x plus 2, and we'll come to this equation in a very short while after finishing log. Y is equal to x plus 2. Now, what is this equation telling me? This equation is giving me the value of what? This equation is giving me the value of what? This equation is giving me the value of y. Yes, Wahini. This equation is giving me the value of y from the value of, if I know the value of x. Great, Anna. So let me call this as the straight function. The first function, the straight function. Now, maths is very interesting. Everything has its inverse. We'll come to that very soon. Now, if I write the same equation in this way, x is equal to y minus 2. I write the same equation in this way, x is equal to y minus 2. Now, what is it telling me? It is giving me the value of x. If I know the value of y, this is what I call reverse function, inverse function. This is what is known as the inverse function. So state function is, you know the value of x, you get the value of y. The inverse function is, you know the value of y, then get the value of x. That is the inverse. Are you getting me? Is everyone getting me? What I wanted to make you understand? What I wanted to make you understand. Okay. Great. Now, what would be the inverse function of log? What would be the inverse function of log? The inverse function of log, please listen to me carefully. The inverse function of log is known as anti-log. Anti, opposite of log, anti-log. The inverse function of log is known as anti-log. It's the reverse process of log. How will I get the anti-log? Okay, I hope you are getting my point. Now let us go back to log. Log of 100 to the base of 10. We have already discussed how much is the log of 100 to the base of 10. How much is the log of 100 to the base 10? 2. Yes, Raju, correct. 2. Log of 100 to the base of 10 is 2. How will I get the inverse? So here I knew 100. I had 100 in my mind and 10 is my base. I knew 100, 10 is the base, and I got the answer as 2. Answer is 2. So what will be the inverse function? In inverse function, I will know 2. I will know the base. I will have to get the number. Are you getting my sign language? I repeat. Yes, I repeat. Yes. Here in the log function, I had 100 with me. Log function, I had 100 with me, and I had the base, and I got the log of 100 as 2. Now in anti-log, what would I have? Yes. So I'll write this anti-log like this. Anti-log of 2. Obviously the base is 10. Anti-log of 2 is how much? To the base of 10. Anti-log of 2 is how much? It is 100. So this becomes the ulta reverse function. Are you getting my point? Is everyone getting my point? What is the inverse function? Ulta function, reverse function. In the first function, I had 100 and I got the value as 2. In the inverse function, I had 2, I get back 100. That is the inverse, that is ulta. In maths, everything has an ulta function, reverse function. Okay, one more example, not for log, I'll give it for the trigonometric ratio so that you can understand what is inverse. I hope you understand this. I hope you understand anti-log. One more example on anti-log, then I'll give you the inverse function of something else. One more example, anti-log. Anti-log of, and again when I say log, I mean log to the base of 10. What will be the anti-log of 3? Obviously the base is 10. What will be the anti-log of 3? And Santosh is there with an answer. Raju, Chaturya, everyone is there with an answer. Great, I already have crossed 200 messages. Great, the anti-log of 3 would be 1000. And that is what we need to understand. That is the, yes, Jay, you are correct. That is what you need to understand. Reverse function, inverse function. I hope we get this. Okay. Now one question for your how good you can imply, how good you can imply, how good you can imply. Sine of 30 degrees is half. We all know this. We all know this. Yes or no? Yes or no? We all know this. Sine of 30 degrees half. Okay. As I said, and I repeat, every function in maths has an inverse. Trigonometric inverse is known as inverse trigonometry. Trigonometric inverse is known as inverse trigonometry. You will study inverse trigonometry in class 12th, I guess. Trigonometry is in class 11th. Inverse is in class 12th. What will be the inverse? What will the inverse give me? Inverse is written like this. Sine inverse. Since someone said ki sine ka inverse will be cosec, that is why I am giving this example. Sine ka inverse is not cosec. Inverse function is not cosec. Sine ka inverse. Now see, in the direct function, I had 30 degrees. And I got half as the answer. I repeat, in the direct function, sine function, I had 30 degrees. And I got the answer as half. Now, can you formulate the inverse function? Can anyone formulate the inverse function? Can anyone give me the answer of inverse function? I had 30 degree and I got the value as half. What will be the inverse function looking like? What will be the inverse function? How should I write the inverse function? Can anyone tell me that? Can anyone tell me that? I'm waiting for answers. I got some answers, but they are not correct. Sine inverse of half. Sine inverse of half is how much? Sine inverse of half is how much? It is equal to 30 degrees. Yes, yes, yes. Very correct. This is what we call as the inverse function. Very correct, Santosh. This is the way you write it. Sine inverse of half is 30 degrees. That is what we call inverse functions. Every function in maths has an inverse of it. Inverse function. Am I clear with this concept of log, anti-log, sine theta, and sine inverse of something? Absolutely clear, because we will be needing this inverse function for sine as well or cos as well. So I'll give you one more example. Cos inverse of root 3 by 2. Get me the answer for this one. Cos inverse of root 3 by 2. What will be cos inverse of root 3 by 2? And Anak is there. Santosh is also there with an answer. What happened? Just stop here. Just a moment. I think my whiteboard just gave away. It stopped responding. Just a minute. Zoom has stopped responding or what? Am I there? Can you hear me better? I think I lost connection somewhere. Can you see me, everyone? Sorry, there was some. Can you share? Can you see my screen? There was something that went wrong. Okay, let us get back. Cos inverse of root 3 by 2. The answer would be 30 degrees. We understand this, everyone? I'm back. I hope I'm audible. There was something that went wrong. I don't know why. Everything stopped here. Okay, we got this. Log ka anti-log, sine ka sine inverse. Shall we move ahead? We move ahead. The next topic, which is all about what we discussed just now. And the heading for this is functions and graphs. So we'll be now dealing with functions and graphs. And this would be playing a very important part as soon as we start the first chapter in physics, that is motion in one dimension. This is going to play a very important part over there. Please listen very carefully. I hope you know what do you mean by function. We have already discussed what is a function. And again, we'll only do that part which is required for us in physics, because the entire function and graph This can take an entire year to understand. So we'll just do what we have to do for physics. Give me an example of a function. Now the simplest way of writing a function is, y is fx. Have you seen this thing written anywhere? Y is equal to fx. Have you seen this thing written anywhere? Y is equal to fx. No, sir. Okay, why? So y is equal to fx means what? It means simple thing y. It may not be a polynomial. It may not be a polynomial, beta. It just simply means y is a function of x. Y is a function of x. Now remember, and as I told you, we'll go into very, very small things, and that's very, very small things will make you very good. This y, what is this y and what is this x known as here? You might not find this in any book. So please remember, this x is known as independent variable. This x is known as independent variable. And this y is known as dependent variable. Now what does that mean? What does that mean? Again, we'll try to understand with an example. Let us say I have an equation y is equal to x square plus 2x plus 3. Y is equal to x square plus 2x plus 3. And you are given find y when x is equal to 1. Find y when x is equal to 1. Can you find the value of y when x is given? Yes, you can easily get it. How you will get it? You will write as y is equal to, you will just substitute x key value as 1. So it will be 1 square plus 2 times 1, 2 into 1 plus 3. You will add and subtract and you will get the value as whatever, 5 plus 2 plus 1, I think it will be 6. So y is 6. So what I have done here is I have given you the value of x. You know the value of x. You are trying to find the value of y. I repeat. You are given the value of x. You can find the value of y. Another example here. Y is equal to sine of 30. Y is a function of x. Okay, instead of writing it as sine of 30, let me write it as, my eraser is working now. Let me write it as y is sine of x. Now when x is equal to 30 degrees, find the value of y. So what will be the value of y when x is 30 degrees? Y will be equal to sine of 30 and half. Right. Again, what I have done here, I have given, or I know the value of x. From there, I find out the value of y. X is known as, again, there is something wrong. X is known as independent variable. Am I audible? I think there is something wrong with Zoom. My video went off. Can you hear me, everyone? If something is going wrong with Zoom. Okay. So I know the value of x and you get the value of y. Y is a function of x. Great. Now I can write this in form of an equation. I can also draw it. How can I draw it? How can I draw it is the next question. How can I draw it? So what do? I have this system. I plot x here and I plot y here. And y is nothing but a function of x. Remember, this x is known as independent variable. I can give you different values. You can say different values. And this y is known as dependent variable. I've already told you that. Right. Not department, beta is dependent. Okay. You must have done this graph plotting exercise in your lower standards. For example, you are given y is equal to 2x plus 3. and then someone tells you, please draw the graph. Please draw the graph of this thing. So what do? What do? You assume some values of x. You will put x is equal to 0 and you will get the value of y. If x is equal to 0, how much is y? Tell me. If x is equal to 0, how much is y? Y will be 3. Then you can assume x is equal to 1. If x is equal to 1, what will be the value of y? What will be? That will be 5. And so on. You can put some values of x and correspondingly you will get the values of y. Yes or no? Yes or no? You can get the values of y and then you can probably plot a graph like this. You will get a straight line like this. Do you all know this? So what I have done here is, I have given some values of x, which is why it is known as independent variable. I can give it some values. And depending on that value and depending on this function, I can get the value of y. So y is known as what? Dependent variable, and x is known as independent variable. Am I clear? I already have 300, 400, 350 messages. Am I clear? Y is known as dependent variable, x is known as independent variable. Okay. Now this thing, when you plot it, it is known as a graph. When you write it in the form of an equation, that's just a function, the equation. When you draw it, it becomes a graph. So graphs and functions are related to each other. Wherever there is a function, there is a graph. Wherever there is a graph, there has to be a function. Done? You understand this? Graph and function and graph, they can't stay independent of each other. They are dependent on each other. Now, every graph has a name. Every graph has a name. How do you name a graph? Any idea? How do you name a graph? You have to name this graph. How do you name it? So the convention means how we do it. The convention is every graph is called by the name y-x graph. Every graph is called by the name of y-x graph. So you always name y-axis first and then you name x-axis. You name y-axis first and then you name x-axis. For example, if on y-axis I plot v, on y-axis. Now this v can be velocity, this v can be anything. Let us say, since we are supposed to do velocity, let us say v is velocity. I have plotted velocity on y-axis and on x-axis I have plotted t. T means time. On y-axis we have v, on x-axis we have t. What will be the name of this graph now? What will be the name of this graph now? This graph will be known as VT graphs. This graph will be known as VT graph. Am I clear why this concept? Right. So this graph will be known as VT graph. Remember, we will give values of time. Time is 0. What is the velocity? Time is 1 second. What is velocity? Time is 3 seconds. What is velocity? You plot time on the x-axis and you will get the value of velocity on the y-axis. You cannot do the reverse of it. Can you do the reverse of it? It becomes funny in physics that you plot velocity on the x-axis, you know the velocity, then you find time. It does not look good in physics. Physics makes more sense that with time, you must know velocity. The inverse of it is not that good. You know velocity, you try to find out time. So normally it is a VT graph and it is not a TV graph. So I don't plot what? I don't plot T here. I don't plot it and V here because then it makes less sense. With time, I'm finding velocity. Am I clear with this concept of dependent and independent variable and name of a graph? Okay. Now, these graphs can be of different types. Why these graphs can be of different types? Because I can have different types of equation. Here I have a polynomial equation. Someone said polynomial. Here I have a quadratic equation, to be very precise. I have a quadratic equation. Here I have, we call it trigonometric equation. Here I have a trigonometric equation. I could have very well made an equation like this. Y is equal to ln of x. What is ln? What is ln? What is ln? What is ln? What is ln here? Anyone? What is ln here? Yes, log to the base of e, natural logarithm, natural logarithm, natural logarithm. Now this type of function will be known as logarithmic function. So we can have different types of functions. It's not only polynomials. It can be logarithmic. It can be exponential. It can be log. It can be a combination of all these. So for different types of functions, we'll have different types of graphs. For different types of functions, we'll have different types of graphs. Am I clear with this? All graphs cannot be same. All graphs cannot be same. Because for different functions, we'll have different graphs. Now let us start with the simplest one. Let us start with the simplest one. What could be the simplest graph that you can think of? What can be the simplest graph that you can think of? What can be the simplest graph? Bar graph. We're talking about functions, bar graph. We're talking about XU graph. What is XU graph? Okay, the simplest sort of graph, maybe my question was not phrased correctly. The simplest type of graph, yes, Santosh has got my point. The simplest type of graph would be a straight line graph. A graph that is a straight line. A graph that is a straight line graph. I hope you are getting my point. I can have a graph which is like this. Ooh. I can have a graph which is like this. Ooh. I can have a graph which is like this. Funny shapes. Obviously, it becomes very difficult to understand these graphs to start with. But I can have the simplest possible graph. I can have the simplest possible graph between y and x. And that simplest possible graph is the graph of a The simplest possible graph is the graph of a straight line. This is a straight line graph, which is the simplest possible graph. Are you getting my point? Is everyone getting my point? This is the simplest type of graph that I can make, which is a straight line graph. Yes or no? Yes. Great. Now, it is the simplest type of graph. It is a straight line graph. Now we'll get a bit into maths. Biology students must know this much of maths. That's why we have to do it. Now, every graph, whether it's a straight line or any funny shape, here are the funny shapes that I've drawn. Any graph has something which is known as slope. Every graph, any graph has something which is known as slope, or you can call it in a very simple language, slant. How much the graph is slanted. Are you getting my point? How much the graph is slanted? Slope. You must have driven you must have ride a bike or a motorcycle, and then you come across slope. When you are going uphill, you have to you get tired because you have to go up. When you are coming down, it's free ride. Slope, slant. Slope is slant. Straight line has slope or a slant. Now, how do we find out this slope or slant? How do we find out this slope or slant? Now, this slope or slant can be understood. This slope or slant can be understood by what? By the angle it makes with which axis? Which axis the angle is made? I can understand the slope with x-axis. See, I've drawn an x-axis here. The axis is here or here, does not make any difference, because if I just stretch the graph, it will cut x-axis at some point. So whatever angle it makes here, the same angle it will make at that point. We understand this? So every graph will have slope. Every graph will have slope. Now, what is very good about a straight line graph? What is good about a straight line graph is slope is always. What is good about a straight line graph is slope is always what? Same. Not zero beta. It can have zero slope, but the slope is always same. It's always same. It's always same. Have you ever seen something known as a similar triangle? Have you seen a similar triangle? Have you seen a similar triangle? Do you know about similar triangles? No. Imagine a similar triangle. Imagine two similar triangles. See, this is one and this is one, right? Triangle number one and this entire big triangle number two. They are similar triangles, yes or no? Yes or no, they are similar triangles? Yes, we all understand this. Why are they similar? Because this angle is same. Are you getting my point? This angle is same. If I call this as AB, and I call this as O, and I call this as CD, anyone can say that AB divided by BO, AB divided by BO will be equal to what? AB divided by BO will be equal to what? You know this. You know this. AB divided by BO, AB is this side, divided by this side will be equal to what? It will be equal to CD divided by DO. Similar triangles. Have you heard about similar triangles? 9th standard, 10th standard. Yes, yes, CD divided by DO. It is all similar triangles. This is a straight line. As you can see, this is a straight line. And since this angle is same, they become similar triangles. 10th class, yes, correct. Similar triangles, 10th class. We are just trying to put similar triangles in a different way. So this theta is known as, this theta can be called as a slope. This angle can be called as a slope. But instead of calling this angle as the slope, please listen to me very, very carefully that I'm going to say now. Instead of calling this angle as slope, I'll draw something here. I'll draw something here. Do you see what I've drawn here? I have made a small triangle. Do you see the small triangle, the green one? You see the small triangle, green one? And it is a right angle triangle. Do you see it? Anyone can see this right angle green triangle that I've created? Yes, yes, great, great, great. 400, 500, yes. Now, see why did we study trigonometry? Try to relate everything together. Now, let me call this, since it is along y-axis. Now, how do I get the value of this? So it will have some value here. Let me call this as y2. Are you getting my point? What I have done here? And this one will be y2. This one will be y1. Are you getting what I'm doing here? Y2 is the upper wala value. Y1 is the niche wala value. Great, great, great. Learning is a two-way thing. If you don't help me out, I won't be able to help you out. Okay. So this one becomes x1 and this point becomes x2. Am I clear? Great, great, great. Very good. Again, I'll say this point is y2 and this point becomes y1. This point becomes x1 and this point becomes x2. Great, great, great. Look at the angle theta. Look at the angle theta. Now tell me what will be the value of this side which I have drawn. What will be the value of this side? What will be the length of this side? Please tell me the length of this side, the samne wala side, the opposite side, the perpendicular side. Tell me the value of this perpendicular side. That will be equal to y2 minus y1. Yes or no? The value of this side will be equal to y2 minus y1. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Vaini says. Everyone understands this? Can I have some raise hand? I already crossed 450 messages. Can I have some raise hands? Y2 minus y1. We understand this. Great. Great, 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 great. And then the next question is coming up. How much is this one? How much is this one? The base. How much is this one? The base. Samne wala perpendicular is y2 minus y1. How much is the base? No answers. X2 minus x1, that is correct. Great. This one is x2 minus x1. Now, open your eyes. Open your eyes and see. I'll just erase this faltu ka stuff. Open your eyes and see now. Everyone open your eyes and see now what we have achieved. I'll draw that green triangle here. I've drawn this big green bada triangle here, right angle triangle. This length we have found out, y2 minus y1. Please don't say that, sir, we don't understand. If you don't understand, ask me. This is y2 minus y1. This one is x2 minus x1. And this angle was theta. Yes or no? I've drawn this chota triangle bada here. We understand this? Yes, sir. Great, sir. And I said theta is related to slope. Theta is related to slope. Theta is related to slope. Can you tell me the value of tan theta from here? Can you tell me the value of tan of theta from here? This is a right angle triangle. Can you tell me the value of tan theta from here? Great. Well done, Karthik. It is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Great, Vahini. Yes, Sanvi, this is correct. This tan theta is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And this tan theta, and not theta, please mark my words, please remember them. This tan theta is known as what? M. Yes, Chatur, M. You must have heard this M. This M is the slope of this line. This M is the slope of this line. Are you getting my point, everyone? Slope of this line. And this slope will remain constant because this is a straight line. From wherever you take this slope, whatever you take the value of y, the same ratio will be the value of x. Are you getting my point? This tan theta is known as the slope of this straight line. And I hope that you have written all this thing in your notebook. If not, you can go back to the lecture. I'll send you the entire whiteboard. Remind me of saving it. Entire whiteboard will be there. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now let us come here. Let us come here. Same similar triangle. Same similar triangle. Tan theta. Tan theta. Tan theta. What is the value of tan theta? What is the value of tan theta? You can give two values of tan theta because you see two right angle triangle. Can you give me the two values of tan theta? Can you give me the two values of tan theta from triangle number 1 and triangle number 2? Yes, and if you look closely, this tan theta was AB divided by OB and CD divided by OD. Yes. That is why they were similar triangles, because they had the same slope. They had the same slope. That is why they were similar triangles. And that is how we understood similar triangles on the slope of that thing. We already have 500 messages today. Great. We had good participant. Do you understand this value of tan theta and y straight line? Is the simplest possible graph because the slope always remains constant. The slope always remains constant. This is what you must remember. That is how we started the graph chapter. We started with y is equal to function of x. Then we understood what is dependent variable, what is independent variable, how a graph is named, and then we went on to, yes, Saina, correct. Tan theta is tan theta is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, or in this case it is AB divided by BO and CD divided by DY. I'll finish my class here. I hope whatever I tried to make you understand, you understood. Yes, dy by dx, Karthik is coming in the next class. Dy by dx is coming in the next class. I'll stop the class over here. I still remain in the room. Please, yes, Vani has shared the slides. Please, if you have any doubts, please ask me. I'm here. Take care. Bye-bye. And have a good day.